After a week of this, I got bored with the routine at home and started to take Fritz and Lorbas out to our beautiful regional parks. Tower Point quickly became my favorite. Tower Point is a promontory of rock, providing a splendid view of the Olympic Mountains in Washington on the other side of the Strait of Juan de Fuca. The park has a nice meadow, a bit of tall tree forest, incredibly steep abysses of rock, and extensive tidal flats. Tower Point is surrounded by rocky islands of granite or basalt carved out 10,000 years ago by the glaciers. There is plenty of wildlife. Seals can be seen basking on the rocks and swimming. Fish otters fish in front of the cliffs. So do loons. Pretty harlequin ducks pass in front of us. Geese are abundant in pairs and with their offspring, watchful and territorial. Clouds of gulls rise from the tidal flats. There are several pairs of eagles in the vicinity, often attacked by gulls or crows. And plenty of songbirds inhabit the wooded parts and shrubbery. White-crowned sparrows, song sparrows, house finches, red-winged blackbirds, and many warblers. And then there is the delight of wildflowers, some singly and in spaces where one has to search for them, such as the chocolate lilies. Others in abundant profusion, such as the Easter lilies, the delphiniums, and above all the blue camas lilies. The tidal flats harbor a myriad of creatures, scores beyond the many kinds of clams and the occasional oyster. Lorbas delights in playing with rock crabs. Which quickly bury themselves after I rescue them. But Lorbas is at the beginning of his life. Everything is new to him. He is delirious at the discovery of very common things, like sand, and exuberant about playing in it with stones or one of his squeaky toys. Lorbas cannot resist exploring the infinite nooks and crannies, the rocks and crevices, and the endless animal trails under the bushes and through the forest. He delights in exploring the abysses, making the hair on my neck stand up, and my heart stop when he ventures so close to the abyss. But he never slips, never gets into a calamity, and becomes more and more as agile as a little goat. For Lorbas, the greatest thing about Tower Point is likely that it is a place for endless encounters with other dogs and their owners. After a while, when some of us meet, we just go to the meadow on top of the hill and let the dogs cavort to their heart's content. The meadow is covered with ribwort plantain in bloom, and the dogs release clouds of pollen when they race through it. Well, those were the happy days with Fritz and Lorbas at Tower Point in 2011.